What's going on, everybody? My name is Aiden and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, this sort of video is going to be very difficult to talk about for a variety of reasons, but recent reports suggested that Kawahi Lenoard has done some very interesting things in relation to signing endorsements to, quote unquote, I have the thing here, but to circumvent, I guess, the luxury tax or whatever the case may be. Look, at the end of the day, I want to make this very clear before making a video like this, that this is a investigation going on in the NBA, and in no way, shape, or form am I going to jump to a conclusion and say Kawahi Lenoard is guilty in these regards. Reports are out there. You can more than happily read them yourself. I'm going to read a couple of quotes from this situation and give my honest thoughts on the situation as well. But I believe in a world of innocent until proven guilty. I believe in a world where speculation does not necessarily mean answers are guaranteed. I live in a world where I would like to see an outcome before ultimately making a judgment on a player. But if this is real, and if this is true, I think this is detrimental for the league in more ways than one. So with that being said, we'll talk about it in this video. Before we get any further, if you like the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new. And let me know what you guys think about Kawahi Lenoard and this whole situation going on. I think let's get started. So basically, from my understanding of the situation here, I might have to read a couple of quotes in this as well, but apparently, the Clippers owner, Steve Ballmer, I guess, I don't know if he was a founder of this company or whatnot, but he was connected to a company called Aspiration. And basically, what happened was Kawahi Lenoard signed, allegedly, a 4-year, $28 million endorsement deal from Aspiration. And apparently one of the employees who was unnamed said that the payment to Lenoard was to circumvent the salary cap. So basically what this means in I guess simple terms, because that's the only way I can understand it, the NBA has a salary cap. And every team has to abide by the salary cap. The salary cap is, I'm very sure, similar for every team. Obviously, you could go above into the luxury tax and then the second apron and all that thing. So you could go above it, but ultimately there is a standard salary cap that teams have to measure. And what's happened here, allegedly, is that the Clippers owner paid Kawahi Lenoard more money, which Kawahi Lenoard probably asked for, if this is true, from an endorsement deal in order to get by the salary cap and give Kawahi Lenoard more money to probably stick around at some point. Maybe there was threats of him leaving. Maybe this was part of the negotiation tactics at the very beginning when he joined the Clippers, but ultimately that was the situation there. And there's even reports suggesting that when he was negotiating with the Toronto Raptors, that something similar could happen. And there were certain demands that were very similar to what is happening with the Los Angeles Clippers at the moment. Now, as I said, this is completely all allegations, and I'm very much in the mindset of innocent until proven guilty. So I'm not going to talk about the character of Kawahi Lenoard or the character of Steve Ballmer or anyone. I'm not going to talk about characters. I'm not going to judge anyone until we actually know what's happening. As far as I'm aware, the NBA is investigating the situation, but the reports look damning at this point in time. It does not look good, and everybody has jumped to their conclusions. What I want to do is talk about how this is really bad for the league, if this is true. Because first off, this is publicized. But if this is happening, with the NBA being unaware of this for that long, how many other teams are doing this? And if teams are not doing this, how unfair is something like this for the rest of the league? That's my worry when I think about if this is true. Because let's just give an example. A small market team, let's just say the Washington Wizards. I don't know if they're a small market team, but let's just say that they're at least one of the teams right now that are not very good in the NBA. Let's just say a superstar player has a chance to join the Washington Wizards, who's giving them all the money that they could give them. But because of stuff like this happening, where you can circumvent the salary cap in your own way, it gives a player of superstardom the luxury to go over there and make even more money than possibly or physically allowed from the NBA standpoints. You know how insane that is? How unfair that is? So a team that's not willing to break the rules is the team that in the end will get punished from the situation. That's where I have a big issue with this. I hope and I pray that this is not true. And I pray this is not something that's happening around the league, because only one contract got caught if this is true, and that's Kawhi Leonard. How many teams are truly doing this outside of outside of the Clippers? You know, how many teams are truly doing this if this is true? Because you can't tell me the Clippers are going to be the only one. There's surely going to be a bunch of teams, or at least now there will be a bunch of teams trying to do this in order to bring free agents into their organization. This is a scary thing for the NBA, and we need to take this very seriously if this is true. So investigations need to happen. This needs to be taken very seriously by the NBA. Adam Silver and his crew need to do their job diligently. And if this is a big situation that does take place where it is true, and the Clippers are found guilty of this, and Kawhi Leonard is found guilty of this, the proper punishments need to be taken place. And these punishments need to be severe. It can't be, for example, when a team is, I guess, let's just say what happened with the Bulls, where we were talking to Lonzo Ball before restricted free agency, so tampering and whatnot. We got 2 second-round picks taken away from us. Let's be honest, that's not a proper punishment for a situation like this. Serious things need to happen. Maybe even a change of ownership. That's how bad something like this is, because no one should be able to get away with this. And it's ridiculously unfair, and it's ridiculously not right, in my opinion, in this current situation. So, you know, punishments like Kawhi Leonard being suspended for multiple years genuinely needs to be a conversation. If we're banning people for taking drugs on the court, whether it's performance enhancers or even not performance enhancers, you're suspending them for 2 to 4 years. This is as bad as that, in my opinion, if not worse, because it literally is cheating to join a certain team. It's trying to get more money and hustle for more money than what the NBA actually allows them to give. That is insane to me. And that needs to be punished very harshly if true. But like I said, I put my hands up. I truly believe in innocent until proven guilty. So Kawhi Leonard, Steve Ballmer, until things go haywire and the NBA confirms it, I believe you're innocent. And I do not believe things like this to be true. No matter how many people report it, I will wait for the NBA to say something, because there's no way things like this can get away with, gotten away with. I genuinely can't believe it. But who knows, man? Who the heck knows? But yeah, this is really, really bad. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. Again, it's hard to talk about NBA financing because I'm not from America, so I don't know the luxury tax rules as much as someone in America probably does. I don't know the salary cap rules. I don't know the second apron rules as much as everybody else does. But I definitely know that this is literally cheating, and it should not be allowed at the NBA level. So let's hope it is not true for everybody's sake. Hopefully I did an okay job. I just wanted to make things very clear. I do not believe this is true. Let's see. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care, and peace.